Alright guys, let's get going here. So good afternoon and welcome to the speeches and awards portion of today's senior banquet. It's so nice to finally be able to see everyone's faces. It's been far too long. I want to start by thanking all of you as we have navigated through one of the most challenging times in our country and our world. But we did it. We are here and we are ready to celebrate the class of 2021. That's right. I hope that everyone's able to enjoy today's festivities with your classmates and friends and are excited to receive your diplomas tomorrow at the iconic Cranmore Mountain. In the words of the legendary coach John Wooden, things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. In a year like no other, you showed what grit, determination, and perseverance look like. Woo! And while this was by no means the way we wanted you to learn about this, you excelled in these challenging times. We came together and were able to be in person for the whole year, have all 3 athletic seasons, have spirit weeks, and so much more.
So much more!
You guys were creative and flexible in how all your groups and organizations ran and made the absolute most of the situation instead of dwelling on what you could not do or could not have. I am so proud of all of you for focusing on what we could do and what we needed to do in order to make this year happen. The positive attitude and determination is what will set you apart from others as you move forward in the next steps of your life. I want to thank you all for being here and making this year possible. And as you prepare to leave the Eagle's Nest that has been your home for the past 4 years, I want each and every one of you to know that you are ready, that you are capable of doing great things. To those of you who are off to serve our country in either the military or the service corps, I thank you. To those of you off to further your education, I wish you nothing but success in the programs that you are pursuing. To those of you off to start your careers, I wish you the best of luck in whatever field of industry you pursue. No matter what path you set out on today, I know that you are prepared and ready for that voyage. And while commencement marks the end of your high school careers, it's very interesting that the actual definition does not refer to the end, but rather the beginning. So here is to each and every one of you and your new beginning. I wish you all nothing but the best. And now, on to the important part of the ceremony, the student speeches and awards. Thank you all and congratulations. I would now like to call up to the stage Student Body President Ella Chandler to give this year's welcoming address.
Hello everyone. This past Tuesday, I was so spastic with excitement that my friend's mom asked him if he fed me too much caffeine. I laughed like crazy and continued packing for the baseball game we were headed to with an unnecessary amount of energy. Although I was excited for the game, I was more thrilled thinking about all the events I had ahead of me, specifically the one we are at right now. I know I can't speak for everyone, but I had a pretty good senior year, COVID aside, which is why I'm so excited for what's to come. This banquet has been an overflow of school spirit excitement that has been missing since we couldn't attend sports games, go to dances, or cheer on our class at pep rallies. Cruising through town in the car parade while waving at locals who supported our journey will feel like a movie, as synchronized music waves from everywhere around us. Then we will travel to the top of a ski mountain with our loved ones for a graduation ceremony that has been recognized on the national level. From laughing with our classmates, waving at the people of the valley, or ascending Cranmore with family and friends, all these events will finally meet our craving for the in-person human interaction we've all been in shortage of. All these events will also have professional photographers to capture these moments, so that the people in the moment just have to worry about living it. Not passively living, but living with such an exuberance and passion for life that you can look back and know you made the most of it. And I believe the best way to do this is to get off your phone as much as possible. Hear me out. There will be photographers and your annoying parents who will want so many photos. Snapchat memories won't do any justice, and mindless scrolling definitely won't help us live in the moment. We've come to believe social media connects us, yet it usually just distracts us from connecting with the people who are directly in front of us. I'm not asking everyone to get off social media forever and not to post anything about this entire weekend, but just to moderate your own use and try to minimize it. It'll be uncomfortable if you're not used to it, especially since we've all been using technology significantly more due to COVID. But this change is necessary. Earlier this year, I got the chance to speak with Tristan Harris, the founder of the Center for Humane Technology, who's also the creator of the viral Netflix movie, The Social Dilemma. On his organization's website, the fact that spoke to me the most and seemed to ring true for this occasion was as follows. The mere presence of a mobile phone can disrupt the connection between two people, leading to reduced feelings of empathy, trust, and a sense of closeness. In a series of studies, researchers found that when pairs of strangers were asked to have meaningful conversations, their ability to connect emotionally was significantly reduced if a mobile phone was visible. I don't intend to be too upfront with the anti-cell phone use talk. I have a long way to go as well when it comes to improving my technology use habits. And technology has allowed us to get an education remotely and to video call our friends during the pandemic. I just don't want this time of our lives not to be lived to the fullest we can, since the future is approaching fast. Depending on your future plans, you might start to work full-time, go into the military, or continue to further your education anywhere from tens to hundreds to thousands of miles away, or do something completely different. And all these changes that are difficult to understand compared to other experiences we have lived through so far will all begin in the next couple of months. So this is why we must live the next couple of weeks, the first weeks of our senior summer, with the biggest carpe diem mindset we can achieve. So this is why we must live the next couple of days with eyes not looking at our screens, but at the people who won't be around much longer. So this is why we must live the next couple of hours in our senior parade like we are on top of the world, because sitting on a car in our bubble of a world we call the Mount Washington Valley will be as close to the top of the world as we've ever been up to this point. So this is why, during this culminating celebration of achievement, we must seize the next couple of minutes and tell the people you love them, because we will get in our cars, the parade will fly by, and all our cars will disperse and go different ways, just like we will all disperse and go different ways in life. So this is why, class of 2021, we must embrace the true connections we have with the people in our life, take this on top of the world feeling, bottle it up, and carry this excitement and zeal for the future everywhere we go. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. Excellent job. I'd now like to call to the stage Ava Jarrell to give the salutatory address.
Hello, students, parents, and teachers. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate the class of 2021. On behalf of all the graduates, I would like to say thank you to our teachers and parents for all the support that you have given us over the past 4 years. We would not be here today without you. When I first sat down to write this speech, I panicked. I had no idea what to write about or how to start. But then I remembered that it doesn't matter all that much what I say to you today, because I simply do not have the ability to impart any wisdom upon you that you do not already have yourself. So instead, I would just like to share with you what I have found to be my greatest takeaway from high school, my perspective on failure. Coming into high school, I was determined to let nothing stop me from riding a wave of perfection all the way to the finish line. Little did I know, this was an impossible task. Failure is inevitable, and it will continue to be a part of our lives until the very end. But this is not a bad thing. In fact, had I never failed at anything over the past 4 years, I would still be the same young and naive freshman that I was at the beginning of high school. If I could go back in time to a point in my life where I was at my lowest and give myself one piece of advice, I would say, failure is a part of life, and it's going to happen a whole lot more. Use it as an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow. Next year and every year after that, I hope to remember these words. As I close this chapter of my life, I can now recognize that there is an art to failure, a beauty almost. And that beauty comes from our ability to consistently bounce back despite the many things that have been thrown at us, a pandemic, virtual classes, senioritis. From our greatest setbacks comes a greater capacity for triumph, because from those failures we build strength. This resilience that we have inside us is not innate and should not be taken for granted. It is acquired through all our past experiences that have led us to this point. What we have achieved is amazing. And now it's time to go our separate ways. Whether you plan on going to college, getting a job, or joining the military, we will all face failure. So I urge you to think about what you would say to your past self during a time when you felt down. And remember those words. Congratulations to graduating seniors. I wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you for an amazing 4 years.
Thank you, Ava. I would now like to call upon Catherine Hawks to step forward for our valedictory address.
Good afternoon, graduating class of 2021. I'd like to be the first of many congratulations that you received this weekend, so congrats, you made it. Through the much needed remote days and the weird schedule changes, we survived almost half of our high school careers during a pandemic and did it with the utmost of success. Although not diminishing the multitude of hours spent on homework and various projects throughout the past 4 years, we did have some help along the way. On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to thank Mr. Carpenter and the administration for giving us the opportunity to participate in sports, clubs, and other activities during this past year, as well as giving us a pretty memorable day leading up to graduation, with the help of the student council, of course. I also would like to thank our esteemed teachers who provided us with a tremendous education and pushed us to do our best, even on the days that we didn't want to learn. And lastly, I would like to never forget the parents, grandparents, and guardians whose support, sacrifice, and dedication has not been overlooked. We would not be here today without all of you, so thank you. Alright, so for most of my high school career, my time has been consumed by crossing items off or checking boxes on my to-do list. As many can probably relate, I would return home from school, sports, or clubs with a long list of assignments or to-dos, only to start completing that list. Edit that narrative for Mr. Fail. Check. Complete the math homework for Miss Allen. Check. Finish that lab write-up for Miss Cole. Check. Work on that project for Miss Z. Check. Turn in that. Write this. Complete that. Check, check, check. This was my and many of your lives throughout high school. Each time I checked off a task, I was overcome by what I thought was a sense of accomplishment, or even a hint of euphoria. But this feeling was minuscule and disappeared within seconds. Every day was controlled by this to-do list, controlled by the idea that if I did not complete this list, I would be behind, would have this burden weighing on my shoulders, or would not feel the brief sense of accomplishment. This list took over my life, to say the least. But now, after much self-reflection, I realized the lack of retention gained from this all-consuming list. As I checked off the completion of papers, assignments, and projects, that's all it was, a check. Not a lesson learned, not a mistake made, not a skill gained, just a check. I was going through the motions in writing those papers and completing the math problems, especially during this past year when senioritis kicked in. Of course, I gained some skills and learned information along the way. Like if not for Miss Hill, I would not be able to thoroughly analyze writing pieces. If not for Miss Reedy, I would not know how to calculate parts of triangles. And if not for Herr Wong, I would not have an amusing vocabulary in Spanish. But I question whether I truly utilized these assignments, papers, and projects to their full potential, or if I took them for granted just to complete my to-do list and receive a sufficient grade. Just 3 weeks ago, I was listening to a calculus video at 2 times speed in order to watch the entire 45-minute video, and even though I couldn't fully understand what was being said at times, I did not slow down the video at the fault of rushing through my work to check this item off my list and feel the short-lived sense of accomplishment. So as I drag on about my frequent inability to take advantage of assignments, I impart to you, the class of 2021, with this piece of advice that I wish I had 4 years ago. Fully utilize the opportunities given to you and don't have any regrets of the amount of effort put forth after completing an assignment, class, workout, practice, problem, dedicating yourself to strengthening a relationship, or whatever it may be. The feeling of accomplishment is much greater when whatever was accomplished was sincerely completed with 100% effort and attention, rather than at 2 times speed or by counting down the minutes until the task was over so you could cross that item off your list. Life is not meant to conform to a to-do list, but is meant to be lived. It's for the journey, the climb, the tremendous amount of effort that you put into whatever you may do, the magical moment when your friend lying beside you in an open field spots the Big Dipper, the time that the person across the table from you spits all of the water out of their mouth because they laughed so hard that they couldn't keep it in, the time you remember a random fact that you learned in Dr. Loin's statistics class to impress your interviewer 10 years later, the completion of a strenuous workout, the benefit and joy of keeping in touch with childhood friends, or the time you feel a true sense of euphoria and accomplishment after being promoted because you actively put in relentless effort through 60-hour work weeks and sleepless nights. Life is meant to be passionate and void of regrets. As many have said, you will learn and adapt from your mistakes, so make them, don't dwell on them. Remember the dumb times and the funny times and the wholesome times. Remember the adventure and the wisdom gained along the way. Remember the teachers, friends, siblings, and parents who made an impact on you. So take this and carry it with you to college, the military, trade school, the workforce, or wherever life's journey brings you. And don't go through the motions nor live life at 2 times speed, but take advantage of the opportunities to gain skills and learn, create and develop relationships, feel a true sense of accomplishment after putting forth 100% of your efforts, and seize euphoric moments that you want to slow down, take advantage of, and make them last as unforgettable memories. Don't count down the minutes. Make the minutes count. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for those great words. At this part of today's program, we'd like to move on to a few special acknowledgements. The first, each year, all the schools in the North Country participate in recognizing our outstanding students. Each school recognizes their valedictorian, salutatorian, and outstanding career and technical education students. This event is put on by North Country Education Services, a nonprofit organization that supports the region's educators and schools. This year, we are happy to recognize our valedictorian, salutatorian, and outstanding career and tech students. I'd like to start by calling forward our valedictorian for the class of 2021, Catherine Hawks. 2021 Salutatorian, Ava Jarrell. And this year we have not one, but two outstanding career and technical students. The first I'd like to call forward is Kaylee Mola. And our co-outstanding career and technical student of the year, Grace Ruddy. Alright, we would also like to take time to thank all the businesses, organizations, and families that have made today and tomorrow's events possible. We'll be recognizing everyone that helped us to support this event with a giant thank you letter, and we'll post it in the paper. But please know that this community is behind us and has supported us to make all of these great events possible. So thank you to all the local organizations that have helped out. And now, on to the awards. The first award we'll be awarding tonight is the Parker Marrow Award. The Parker Marrow Award is presented to a Kennett High School student who makes the most progress over their 4 years at Kennett High School. The recipient of this award is based on the feedback of the Kennett High School faculty, and a number of factors are examined each year to determine the most fitting recipient. It is with great pleasure that this year we award the Parker Marrow Award to Jack Vaughn. Congratulations, Jack. The next award is our Eagle Award. This award is presented to the student who has demonstrated scholarship and success through Eagle Academy. Sorry, I forgot to write the name down. This year's award winner is Marley Ewing. The next series of awards are the Principal's Awards. The Principal's Awards are given annually to students to recognize outstanding achievement, perseverance, accomplishment, and a variety of other characteristics that we value in our students. The recipients of this award have all made a great impact on the Kennett High School community and are worthy of being recognized and bestowed upon them. This year we have 4 recipients. The first recipient of the Principal's Award is Ava Jarrell. The second recipient of this year's Principal Award is Amii Patel. The next recipient of the Principal's Award is Ebony Spurlock. And the final, and certainly not least, recipient of tonight's Principal Awards, Bobby Graustein. Our next award for this evening is the George T. Davidson Jr. Spirit of Kennett Award. This award has been presented annually since 1999 to a member of the senior class who best exemplifies the commitment, enthusiasm, leadership to promote positive school spirit. This award is named after George T. Davidson, who is a distinguished member of our community and served as a coach and mentor to numerous young men and women at Kennett High School and our greater community. We are honored to present this year's award to Parker Coleman.
Let's go. Never commit.
The final award for this evening is the Kennett Trophy, or the Kennett Cup. The Kennett Cup is one of the most coveted and prestigious awards at Kennett High School. Each year, it is presented to a member of the graduating class based on their service to the school. I'd like to call up Tanner Kennett to the podium at this time to award the Kennett Family Award.
Thank you, Principal Carpenter, and it's a pleasure to be out here in front of everybody. I did a video for this award last year, it just didn't feel right, and it's great to see all your faces. So, in the past, we've read previous winners of the Kennett Cup, and of the field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse team. A four-year member of Key Club, vice president of the student body last year, and student body president this year. If you don't know who I'm talking about, then that's weird. Member of the Honor Society and Spanish Honor Society, attending BU next year. Yeah, why keep going, you know? She's quite impressive, and it seems like a very, very impressive person to know and have as a friend. Let's give it up for Ella Chandler.
Congratulations, Ella, and thank you to the Kennett family again for continuing to award this prestigious honor to our students. I would now like to call up the senior class president, Celia Lynn, for the final speech of the evening.
Hey guys. Walking in freshman year, I stared at the ground as the seniors passed by. They were intimidating and powerful, or so they seemed. Everyone told us how quick it would be before we were them, but we never really realized how quick it would actually be. And we never knew how much we would change from freshman to senior year here at Kennett. Throughout the 4 years, we have found ourselves learning more than expected, yet it wasn't math or science that stuck with me. It was the relationships that we built and personal growth that will impact every day of our lives. Bonding with students over lunch in classrooms that you wouldn't really see otherwise, and seeing the same group of students for 2 weeks at a time. While it was difficult not seeing your typical group of friends, it forced us to learn how to expand. Teachers, putting their heart into every lesson, not only taught us academics, but more importantly, taught us how to succeed. While we did do a lot of assignments, online learning was a lesson of its own. Learning skills of self-advocacy and responsibility has proven to be useful every day. The dedication of our teachers that they showed will always be appreciated. The students we have been surrounded by are no longer acquaintances, but instead have turned into our family. And the teachers who we may not have known before are now our biggest supporters. If you ask most people at Kennett, they will agree this class is special. We are tight-knit, passionate, and overall leaders. This past year was difficult. The knowledge that we were missing out on so many anticipated events made each week of school a little harder. It felt as though we were going through the motions and that people weren't as sympathetic for us compared to last year's senior class. But with the support of our teachers and peers, we have a group of people to build each other up and make each other better. We've been able to have 3 sports seasons, clubs, and amazing events like this one today. It is sad to know that our time here is coming to an end. We are grown up. It is time to go and actually do something new with our lives. With the guidance we received throughout high school, I know each student here will thrive and succeed. Walking down the hallway, I feel nothing like those seniors I feared when I was a freshman. I don't necessarily feel intimidating or powerful like how I saw them, but now I realize that even if we don't feel that way, we have the skills to leave here. High school flies by, and I'm grateful to say it will always be a positive experience of mine, as I hope it is all of yours. Thank you. Thank you. A little windy.
Guys, thank you again to everyone for being here today, to all our award recipients, and to all those who gave speeches today. You represent the class of 2021 with grace and style.